So let me see if we're fixed. Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies. I hope you are all doing well and you found your way around the website, okay? And if you're having any challenges, please let me know. I would love to know, and this way I can also improve and make it better to access. So welcome to our Fueling Your Body session. And let me say thank you very much for all the comments and the messages that has been coming via Facebook. And remember that your comments give support not only to me but to the other ladies, because you're coming, you're opening up and you're sharing your experiences with everybody. And it's a beautiful place to be, because we need to speak about what is going on with our life a little bit more and be daring to speak about the challenges, because they are very true and very real. So I want this to be about you. This program is about you. And I would love to hear what is going well for you, and I want to hear what has been easy to implement, and but also which things are becoming difficult. But also, most importantly, is to check your progress, even if it is just drinking a glass of water, one more glass of water per day. But it is about you, and I am here to support you. So let me hear everything that's happening. And I am very well aware that the fact of changing habits, like changing habits, isn't easy at all, especially when it comes to diet and exercise. It is. If it was easy, everybody else would have been doing it, but it is not. And we all have things that we get stuck with. So by sharing them, it helps others, because chances are, if it is a problem for you, then it will be a problem for someone else. And then sometimes you might start implementing something that it's going great maybe for you, and then something happens to throw things off, and you're back at square one. And this happens with almost everybody if it is a new habit, because it's not easy. And but remember that it's okay to fall off the wagon, let's say. But it's okay, because there's no wagon, right? And we are just creating new habits, and it takes time. So remember that it's okay, and just get back at it and keep going. And if I had given up a few years ago myself, I would still be stressed and having migraines and like depressed probably, and I wouldn't have dealt with the things that I was dealing with back then. So just keep at it. Remind yourself every day why you started. And if you haven't yet watched our goal setting, so go through that session and brainstorm your why you're doing this program, what does it mean to you, and why you started this journey. And yeah, what does it mean to you and why it's important. So, and let me know what other sessions you have seen so far and how it is working for you. So today we're going to talk about fueling your body, and I'm just going to go and share my screen with you here. And even for me, I am learning so much through putting this program together for you, because technology is not actually my friend at all, believe it or not. And yeah, it's been a learning curve, but I'm happy that I'm doing it anyway, because we don't want perfection, we want progression. And this is my aim. I want to put together a simplified nutrition course for my ladies, and I am doing it whether I am perfect or not, because I'm not searching for achieving perfection, but I'm achieving progression. So let me share my screen with you here. So we're going to be talking about fueling your body, of course, and here. So, okay. So now, speaking about fueling your body. So in this session now, today we are going, it goes into how our how our body needs different types of fuel and nutrients in the form of macronutrients, carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So the three macronutrients you need to remember is carbohydrates, protein, and fat. This is what your plate should be looking. So I have a guideline that I give my personal clients is when you're looking at your plate, half of your plate should be of vegetables, which is broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and peppers, salad leaves, carrots, courgettes, all those vegetables should be half of your plate. Quarter of your plate should be of protein, which is fish, chicken, lamb, beef, eggs, and if you're vegetarian, which this program doesn't accommodate for vegetarian because we have all the recipes are non-vegetarian, but quarter of your plate should be protein and the other quarter should be of carbs. So here we are potatoes, maybe sweet potatoes, and if you're eating a little bit of rice, and you can have that. So your fat also, if your protein, like let's say you're having a piece of fish and some olives and some almonds and olive oil and some other sources of fat content, yeah, fat. So you will have that, but quarter of your plate should be of fat, of carbohydrates, sorry. So when our bodies don't get enough of the proper nutrients, we can't feel our best or look our best. So instead of focusing on just the number of calories, let's focus more on the quality of the food that we are eating. We will be covering this in more details throughout the program, as you will know. So let's start with protein. Or let me, yeah. So again, here, if you read this, you will see, as you have touched before, the foods you eat can have a dramatic impact on how you look and feel, of course, and your mood, your energy levels, your skin, as well as how you age beautifully. So food is what fuels your body. It's what gives you the energy. So depending on the quality of the food that you're eating, your energy will be like that. So I don't need to say more. And this is just a start. We will cover more in the food and habits for energy session. If you haven't seen it yet, you will get there. And our main focus isn't on counting calories, but to implement healthier habits as we go along in this program and creating a healthier relationship with your food. So here is whole food. Think real food. When we're thinking about macronutrients, think about whole food, which is real food. So protein, fat, and carbohydrates contain the highest levels of macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals, which are critical for our health and well-being. So macronutrients are lacking in diets and include a lot of macronutrients are lacking in diets that include a lot of processed food. So diets with a lot of processed food will lack macronutrients. I think I might need to rephrase that a little bit. So when we are thinking about protein, protein is very, very important, and it is not only for big bodybuilders. Protein is an important essential nutrient because your body uses it to build new cells, maintain tissues, and synthesize new proteins that make it possible for you to perform basic body functions. Proteins are nutrients that are essential to the building, maintenance, and repair of your body tissues, such as your skin, internal organs, and muscles. They are also the major components of your immune system and hormones. Yes, ladies, we need protein too. And proteins are made of substances called amino acid, and there are 22 of which considered vital for your health. So a range of protein, like you don't want to have chicken breast every day. You want to vary every food that you are eating, even if it's vegetables, even if it's animal sources. You want to have a variety of them. So 20 of which of the amino acids are considered vital for your health. Your body can make 14 of these amino acids, but the other 8, known as essential, when you hear the word essential, that means your body can't produce it, therefore it needs to come from your diet and must be obtained from what you are eating. So that's how what we eat matters. So where do you get your protein? I would love to hear what form of protein do you eat now or you don't eat. So protein is found in both animal and plant sources, such as meat, chicken, fish, eggs, nuts, seeds, dairy products, legumes, grains, and some vegetables. Now, let's move on to carbohydrates, which is also known as carbs, and many people think that carbs are not necessary for your body and you shouldn't be eating it. What my personal opinion is, based on some researches and what I've learned, is carbohydrates is also present in plenty of vegetables. So you're not going to be deficient of carbohydrates if you're eating plenty of vegetables, but carbohydrates in like refined carbohydrates like bread, pasta, and flour, wheat, like all that would be refined carbs. So you don't want to think about that too much. But if you're eating a bit of protein, a bit of potato, and a little bit of rice, that's no problem. But only quarter of your plate should be of carbohydrates, not a whole bigger plate of chips or rice and just 2 broccoli on the side. We don't want that. We want quarter of the plate to be protein, quarter to be carbohydrates, which is rice or potatoes or pasta if you have it, and then half of your plate should be of vegetables. It's the other way around, so that's a bit tricky now. So carbohydrates now are important for our bodies for many reasons, including your energy to all our cells and aiding in the recovery from physical activity. Now, carbohydrates can also be a good source of fiber, which is very important. Now, carbohydrates from your vegetables would be a good source of fiber. Now, if you're eating pasta, you won't get fiber there because there's no fiber in refined flour, right? So, but if you're eating a bit of brown rice, then you might get plenty of fiber there. So where do we get carbohydrates? Carbohydrates can be categorized as refined or unrefined, as I already mentioned. They are also called processed or unprocessed. I also mentioned that. And simple or complex. So unrefined carbohydrates are full of nutrients, fiber, vitamins, and minerals, which are necessary for the production of energy in the human body. Examples of unrefined carbohydrates include vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Now, a bonus tip for you, by adding fresh whole foods into your diet, a big benefit you may notice right away is improved digestion and elimination, which is your bowel movement. So if you have issues with your digestive system and you are not going to the loo too often, then that may be resolved by adding plenty of vegetable sources of carbohydrates. Now, whereas refined carbohydrates are stripped of nutrients, there are no nutrients, and other additives and chemicals have to be added to make place of what was taken. So many of the additives are addictive. Many of the additives are actually addictive and harmful to your health. These are some of the foods that cause us to have energy crashes and put us on the sugar roller coaster ride. So you see how it can be tricky. So the refined carbs, let's say flour, in its original source goes to the factory, and then whatever is done there, now to preserve it, things needs to be added. Like sometimes in the flour, some nutrients are added. But why is it added, you see? So that's a question to think about. And then some additives in other sources of refined carbs, there will be additives which are very addictive and are harmful to our health. So you don't want that either. And refined carbohydrates include foods such as packaged cereal, white bread, white rice, white flour, chips, most pasta, cakes, and sweet treats. Of course, the coloring and all that will be added. Now, these foods obviously are best to limit in your diet. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy a treat now and then, but just be conscious of how much you consume every day. Awareness is the first important step, and this is where tracking your food can be very helpful. So, fats now. I know there's a lot said about fats, that we shouldn't be eating fat and so on and so on, but consuming dietary fats does not mean that you will get fat. In fact, when I heard that myself a few years ago, like what was the light bulb moment. So in fact, fats and oils are essential to optimal health. Your body needs fats to build cells and manufacture key hormones. What does it say to you? Like, imagine, because you don't have enough good fat, essential fat, you're not producing those good hormones that you need in your body. Just as with all foods, however, you must consume high quality fats and oils for your body to effectively use them. Remember, you are what you eat, right? So eat, move, and be healthy is said by someone I can't remember, but those are words that are with me. So where do fats come from? So healthy fat sources, when you add healthy fats and oil to your diet, you may also notice an improvement in your skin texture, including a reduction or elimination of dry skin patches. Woohoo, that's a bonus, isn't it? So a good fat source should generally come from an organically grown plant-based source with minimal processing to preserve its raw nutrient state. But not all fats oils are stable at higher heat points. Oil for cooking at high temperature above 360 degrees include clarified butter, which is called ghee, and coconut oil. In addition to olive oil, there are many other oils you can include in your diet, which is hemp seed, flaxseed oil, and pumpkin seed oil. I actually cook with coconut oil and ghee because the heat resistance is the heat is higher resistant. So I cook with that, and I make stir fries with that. Almost, I don't make stir fry every day, but I make any foods with my ghee or coconut oil, and it helps me. So a great way to track your macronutrients as well as some macronutrients is to use an app called MyFitnessPal. Now, if this helps you, you can go and try MyFitnessPal. But if this is going to complicate things and overwhelm things, please skip it and use My Food and Mood Symptom Diary to track your macronutrients. Are you having enough protein in every meal? Are you having enough fat, enough of your vegetables per meal? And let it guide you. So begin your day right. The way you begin your day can set up for success, and I share that quite regularly on social media as well, how my morning routine helps me, because I know if I start my day better, then I know I will be on track. So consider adding some protein to your breakfast, and you will likely discover that you will feel full for longer and not experience a mid to late morning crash. Like during the 10 o'clock maybe, you won't have that crash if you had a good protein source in your breakfast. And of course, track it and see what works for you. Try a different breakfast each day for a few days and see which one gives you sustained energy and keep you full for longer, and you have a good feeling, like if you're not feeling bloated and all that. So you want to track them as well. be open to trying new foods. You can start with one meal at a time if that makes it easy. Which new foods would you like to try this week? I want to hear that. Which food would you like to try this week? So your to-do is try different foods for breakfast. Notice how you feel with different foods. Use a food logging app like MyFitnessPal or My Foods Mood Symptom Diary to get an idea of how much protein, fat, and carbohydrates you are getting each day. You can also track your intake of fiber, sugar, which we don't want. We want to eliminate that, and more with this app or My Symptom Diary. Now, use a food journal like mine. You can use to track what you are eating and how you feel. Notice which breakfast option keeps you feel fuller for longer and gave you more energy, and consider how you feel after you eat it so you can tune into what makes you feel better or worse. So I hope this was helpful, and let me know. Please comment on Facebook and tag me so I can see your comments, and I would love to hear what you got from this session. And I wish you all the very best for our next session.